What's up everyone, and welcome back to another video. You all voted for this to be the next video, and it's personally one of my favorite what ifs, so let's get back into what if Gohan trained after Buu. Last time, we saw a scenario where Gohan never stopped training after the Buu arc. We left off with Gohan accessing the power of Super Saiyan God, which left Lord Beerus pretty impressed. Now with Gohan occasionally visiting Beerus' planet to train with him and Whis. Alongside this, Goku and Vegeta, at the same time, both leave for Beerus' planet to train with him as well, and basically living there like in canon, while Gohan still remains on Earth for obvious reasons. We also touched upon Frieza's revival, and how his training wasn't enough for him in his eyes. He was growing impatient and needed a foolproof plan, getting an ally. In the end of the last part, we saw the fruits of this, as two Frieza Force soldiers land on the planet called Vampa, after detecting a high power level, meeting two Saiyans who were stranded there. Now let's continue. From here, the events go pretty similar to what the beginning of the Broly movie was before Frieza went to Earth. Chi-Lai and Lemel bring Paragus and Broly to Frieza, and they obtain the reward for completing their mission. The interactions with Broly and the two soldiers remain pretty much the same, except they have a little more time to bond with him since Frieza doesn't head for Earth instantly after. They're not gathering the Dragon Balls this time, so time isn't really of the essence, and it's not really a big deal if they don't go there right away. Back on Earth, everyone is training like usual, just how I left off in the last part, and everything I said remains the same. As far as everyone knows, Gohan is the most powerful fighter right now, since they don't know about Super Saiyan Blue. With Gohan's sporadic trips to Beerus' planet, Gohan knows how powerful Goku and Vegeta are in their God forms, and that he's stronger in his Super Saiyan God form than them. Kinda like how he did in the Cell Saga with Super Saiyan, he's been trying to remain in his God form as long as possible in order to grow used to it. Of course, he can't do that all the time. It would be weird if he showed up to the university with red hair and eyes on some occasions. But in his free time when he's alone, he's able to do this. Videl doesn't really mind. He's basically mastered the form at this point, and while Goku and Vegeta were striving to obtain a higher power, Gohan was focusing on perfecting the one he already has. He's also been working on combining his ultimate form with Super Saiyan God to give him an amazing power boost, but he's not quite there yet. He does however get an idea for another form he can combine with it, Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan Blue might have been a surprise to everyone else originally, but since Gohan actually sees Goku and Vegeta occasionally, he's learned about them accessing Super Saiyan Blue by combining God and Super Saiyan. He doesn't attempt this yet since he wants to perfect his God form first, but he realizes the benefits and keeps it in mind. So let's do a little bit of review here. Super Saiyan God, Goku, and Vegeta are relatively the same in terms of power. Super Saiyan God Gohan is more powerful than both of them, but not by a considerable amount. When Gohan adds his ultimate form to Super Saiyan God, he grows immensely more powerful and is closer to Blue in terms of power, since he's drawing out all of his potential while in God. However, I'm going to say that Blue is more powerful, and Super Saiyan Blue Goku and Vegeta surpass this ultimate God form that Gohan has right now. I would put him about the level of Blue Vegeta, but just under it. You may also be asking why Ultimate combined with God is weaker than Super Saiyan combined with God. My answer to that? Plot convenience. Jokes aside, I made this combination weaker since I see Ultimate as more of a flat boost that can increase with time and training by unleashing all of the user's potential, while Super Saiyan is a multiplier. No one actually really knows how Ultimate works, so that's why I'm sticking with this. Not to mention Gohan has been training only occasionally instead of constantly like Goku and Vegeta. But even though it's weaker than Blue, it's not by much, and you may think I'm hindering Gohan, but think about how powerful he is. Without even going Blue, he's still able to have the power of a Super Saiyan Blue, and be almost at Vegeta's power level in this form, which is amazing by itself. And once he's actually able to go Blue and stack Ultimate on top of that, imagine the level he's going to be on, but that's for a later part. Of course, when Frieza was revived, just like in the movie, Piccolo and Gohan knew that someone used the Dragon Balls. After time passes and all of the business with Broly happens, Frieza makes his way to Earth, and his power is sensed. The weird thing is that everyone senses his power, but he has someone else very powerful with him. They arrive to the site where his forces land, and we get the usual crew. Piccolo, Tien, Roshi, Krillin, and Gohan, with some new members, Videl, Goten, and Trunks. Knowing that the Frieza Force is kind of fodder, this is a nice opportunity for the three to finally test the newfound power. And yes, I know Goten and Trunks were there in the anime, but in the movie they weren't, so this time we're going to say that they're definitely there. Instead of Gohan not telling them out of fear of them doing something unwise or Videl not being an option, they're invited to join this time. And as for the Frieza Force, it's a lot easier to defeat them this time than in canon. Everyone has benefited from everyone else's training, so they're able to defeat the Frieza Force very quickly. Not only are they more powerful, but they have 3 extra fighters with them. Videl at this point is around the strength of Cell or Gohan during the Cell games, which I know, it sounds like a lot, but she's still a lot weaker than the other fighters, even Goten and Trunks. It's still a huge improvement though, but it's not going to be like she's insanely strong just because she's around Cell's level. Remember, Cell from that point is a lot weaker than anyone at this point. Frieza ends up making his entrance after his forces dwindle, pretty much like usual, destroying the rest of the army for being weak. By the way, I'm also following the story of the movie rather than the anime, which is why I mentioned Goten and Trunks being there, just to be clear. Bulma, just to be safe, still has tried to contact Whis to get Goku and Vegeta there at this point. Frieza steps out of his hovering throne, and has come face to face with Gohan. Gohan is still suppressed at this point, not even in Super Saiyan or his ultimate form, he's in base. Ah, a welcoming party. You will make for a fine warm-up before fighting the other two monkeys. I'm not the same child I was before, Frieza. I'm the one who will defeat you. Frieza, like normal, delivers a punch to him to test his power, with Gohan catching it relatively easy without flinching, and he crushes his hand. Remember, the whole reason he got Broly to come with him in the first place is because he knew there was another strong fighter on Earth now from all of his recon, and that everyone had been training. Frieza transforms into his final form since he's preparing to fight, with Gohan remaining in base like Goku did. Bulma's message didn't quite get to Whis yet, but Goku and Vegeta sense Frieza's power as he transforms, and they decide to go there and ask Whis and Beerus to come. They arrive on Earth to find Gohan and Frieza fighting, with Gohan being pretty advantaged. Interested to see his skills, Goku tells Vegeta to let Gohan fight so they can watch how he's progressed. Frieza snickers to himself knowing that he isn't bested yet and turns golden. Gohan is calm and turns into a Super Saiyan God in response, then stacking Ultimate on top of it. Since this form is a little less powerful than Super Saiyan Blue, Gohan is at a slight disadvantage against Frieza in terms of power, but he doesn't care. He knows Frieza's power is dropping since he isn't accustomed to the golden form, while Gohan has basically mastered Super Saiyan God at this point to the point where he basically has no stamina drain. Gohan does take some hits at first, but eventually it evens out with Frieza, which eventually leads to him getting some hard blows on the Emperor as he gains the advantage. Gohan uses a solar flare and flings Frieza into the sky. That's kind of a tongue twister there. When his vision clears, he's surrounded by something Gohan's learned from Piccolo, the Hell Zone grenade. Why am I even mentioning this? I just think it's a cool attack. The attack hits him from all sides as he's flung to the ground and he drops out of his golden form. Frieza curses and mutters to himself, knowing that it's not over yet. Frieza swallows his pride and calls for Broly to come to his assistance as Gohan realizes what's happening now. The extra power in the ship was an ally for Frieza, a plan B. B for Broly. Feeling like they get in the way, the other Z fighters in Bulma retreat, leaving only Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Whis, and Beerus. The Saiyan steps out, and those present recognize Paragus and Broly as being Saiyans, from their appearance and the fact that Paragus has a tail. Goku tells Gohan to lay back for a while and let them handle this. We're going to do something similar to one of my other what-ifs and make Broly around the same power of base Vegeta as he starts to fight. This is how it was in his movie, and I'm going to assume that Broly's power keeps up with that of the base forms of Vegeta, just like I did in my what-if video about Goku going to Vampa instead. We can't really get a definite range of his power since we don't know how he trained or how his power grows, so going with this is the best option we have. Vegeta jumps in first and fights Broly pretty much in the same way as he did in the movie, progressing to Super Saiyan God, and ultimately trying to finish Broly off. Frieza and Paragus are watching on the sidelines too. Paragus tries to reach for the remote to get Broly to retreat, but sure enough, Chi-Lai still broke it when he wasn't looking because of how he was treating Broly. He goes into his wrathful form, and instead of going right over to Goku, Goku instead joins Vegeta, also in his Super Saiyan God form. They fight Broly together and are impressed that even though he struggles at first, he's beginning to grow during the fight. This has been fun, but we need to end this now! Goku signals to Vegeta and Gohan as well, since they know Broly keeps getting stronger and they can't risk him growing anymore. Goku and Vegeta power up into blue, with Gohan an ultimate Super Saiyan God, as they use all their power to blast Broly out of the sky, knocking him back into base form as he collapses to the ground. Frieza is furious. He screams at Paragus because he feels cheated since Paragus made it seem like Broly was a lot stronger. In his anger, he kills Paragus, with Broly watching this all go down. Broly is on the ground with a direct view, and he's in base form and not blinded by rage at the moment, so he's able to clearly see what's happening and who is doing it. Sorrow and rage fills him as he sees Frieza kill his father, and he lets out a deafening scream. His muscles bulk up and his hair turns gold as he transforms into a Super Saiyan, creating a crater that's glowing with green energy as he launches himself towards Frieza. Here's another change. When Broly turned Super Saiyan originally, he was in his wrathful form and was already berserk and out of control. Since he starts out in his base form this time, we're gonna assume he's not completely berserk this time since he didn't start out in his wrathful form, but he's still pretty much very angered because of what happened. He just has a bit more focus this time since he knows who his target is and who he's supposed to attack. That target is Frieza. He heads straight for the Emperor, and without hesitation, beats him down. Frieza doesn't have a grasp on his golden form at this point in the story, and he's already drained from the prior battle, so he's stuck in his final form as Broly's beating him down, and he's getting hurt really bad. He's pummeled by a flurry of punches from Broly, and as Frieza is mangled on the ground, Broly lifts him up and fires a giant ki blast from his mouth. He puts all of his power into this blast as he launches it all the way into space, and for a brief second, he even goes full power. Frieza is barely alive, left on the ground mangled like he was a Namek with half of his body missing, actually more of it. Everyone around just looks at Broly in pure shock, unsure about what just happened. Broly is just standing there motionless, grunting, as he turns around and charges towards the others, with Vegeta and Gohan quickly grabbing onto Goku, who teleports away to Piccolo, who already made it far away. This enemy might be too strong for them, and they need to take him out now. Goku suggests fusion, and from his pocket he pulls out the Potara earrings. They were never destroyed like Vegeta did originally, and Goku keeps them for emergencies. He holds out the earring for Gohan, but Vegeta snatches it instead. He doesn't want to be left out of the limelight this time. In addition to this, Gohan is powerful, but with the two of them fusing again, Gohan might not even be able to go Super Saiyan Blue, while fusion of Goku and Vegeta definitely could. Vegeta would be open to it this time since it gives him a chance to have a good fight, and he's not forced into fusing as well as him knowing it's not permanent. And he is a little curious to try it out, so this will be a nice opportunity for him. The two put their earrings on, and a white light fills the area. Gohan and Piccolo watch on in awe. Alright! For the first time, Vegeta was born. Gohan puts his hand on Vegito and they instant transmission back to the battlefield. Vegito first turns Super Saiyan, and is able to fight Broly pretty well for a bit. Knowing that he has to end it quick, he instantly turns Super Saiyan Blue after testing his power. It beats down Broly again for a few minutes, not giving him the chance to attack or power up. This time, knocking him unconscious as he never powers up to full power. Vegito begins to charge a final Kamehameha, but then all of the smoke in the area clears as he sees Broly laying there in base form, either unconscious or dead, so he actually hesitates and stops. Frieza, who's barely clinging to his life, flies up from the crater with an energy blast beginning to charge, aimed towards Earth. As a last resort, he wants to blow up the planet while no one is looking. However, he forgot one thing. Vegito wasn't alone. A beam with swirling light pierces through his chest. Another move Gohan has picked up from Piccolo, the Special Beam Cannon. A move he actually knows in some of the video games like Hellzone Grenade. This beam kills Frieza instantly as his body falls to Earth. I told you I'd be the one to defeat you. Gohan looks towards Vegito and gives him a thumbs up, with Vegito doing the same, followed by Vegito defusing, kinda comedically, from the excessive power he used. Chi-Lai and Lemo, who have watched this all go down, run out of the ship to Broly's aid. It ends up clicking with Gohan exactly what's going on, how Broly was used as a disposable soldier for Frieza to enact his revenge, and that Broly didn't really want to fight, he just had no choice and didn't know what was going on. He was kinda forced here by his father too, because it really seemed like Paragus was only the one who wanted to attack Vegeta. Beerus and Whis are also impressed with his power, and Whis suggests to Goku and Vegeta that maybe they should try to find out more about this Saiyan. Both of them and Gohan go up to Chi-Lai and Lemo and ask what's going on. Chi-Lai is hesitant to tell them because she still sees them as enemies, but Gohan talks to her and Lemo and they realize that these Earthlings are actually just confused, kinda like them, and they're not actually trying to finish off Broly or hurt them. The theory Gohan had about why Broly was here ends up being confirmed when Chi-Lai tells them everything, as she also asks why Frieza wanted them dead. Broly regains consciousness and Gohan realizes that he should give Broly a Senzu Bean and gives it to him, now having realized that this Broly guy is pretty harmless. And Broly gets a pretty nice Zenkai from this too. He's wary about what just transpired, but Gohan feels fine about doing this since he trusts what Chi-Lai and Lemo have said about Broly being a good guy. With this little distraction, the remains of the Frieza Force try to fly off on the ship, with Vegeta turning around quickly, and aiming a pretty light blast toward the ship that blows up everyone that was inside, destroying the ship and the rest of the Frieza Force. While angered by the fact that the Frieza Force was just going to abandon them, and now that they have no way home, Goku asks if the trio actually wants to remain here on Earth. After conversing with them, he realizes they're not actually bad people, and this Broly guy is really strong and he wants to see more of Broly's power, like that form he briefly used when he killed Frieza. And I mean, they have no way to get to Vampa or anywhere else, as well as the main members of the Frieza Force being gone, so they don't really have a choice. Broly doesn't feel any sort of hostility towards Goku or Vegeta either. He realizes he was used, and any ill will he had towards them is now all directed towards Frieza, who's dead now. Seeing Frieza kill Paragus made him fully realize that Frieza was not his ally at all, and he didn't care about him, and he knows that Goku and Vegeta aren't the enemies in this situation. Besides, the fact that Vegito spared him and Gohan killed Frieza is enough to show him that they're on his side. The trio hears more about Frieza and the awful things he's done, whether it be destroying Planet Vegeta or anything else he's done to our protagonist, and it becomes more apparent that our protagonists on Earth are more trustworthy. While Goku sees Broly as a nice training partner, Gohan sees the potential in this as well. Broly probably isn't ready to train with Beerus and Whis anytime soon, so now he has a new, powerful training partner on Earth. And Broly is going to need someone to teach him manners and other things about life on here, so who better to live with than Professor Gohan? Time passes as the trio gets adjusted to living on Earth, temporarily being housed in Capsule Corp. Everything is going smoothly after Frieza's defeat, until another certain God of Destruction arrives to Universe 7. We'll leave off this part here, and get into the Universe 6 tournament and beyond in the next video. What might happen next? Comment your suggestions below as we prepare for the next part. As always, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications about future parts of this video or any other videos on my channel. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.